Good morning, people. This is Eric from Core Property Maintenance, and today, Sunday morning, we're getting some of that penetrating rain that we've been needing for so long. Yeah, have a better look. You can see that the rain water has built up enough that it's running down the street. That's exactly what we want. Hopefully, it'll allow me to get some things done a little bit quicker now. Bear with me for a second. I'll show you what I mean. In this backyard here is a job that has to be done, but the ground has been so hard that when you're pulling on the weeds, it just breaks off, and that's not what we want. What we want is to be able to pull the weeds out without any problems, and the root comes right out. And that makes it a lot easier. And we know that not so many weeds will be coming out. Yeah, it's quite a job that needs to be done around here. But I've accomplished something. If you look in the previous video, it will show that there was this area where it used to be a deck here at one time. And then I had to pull it all out because it was rotting out, falling through there. So we took it all out, got rid of it. Here's some of the cement where the beam sat on. I figured I may as well keep that because we'll probably end up having to build another one back here. So with all this rain now getting in here, it'll be much easier to pull it out. Bear in mind, when you're pulling this stuff out, you really need to be using gloves. Some of these weeds are toxic, and they can really burn you. There doesn't look like there's any kind of those weeds in the back here, but it has been known that some of the weeds that are growing wild along the highways and whatnot, pathways, what it is like weeds called parsnip and hogweed. And it's when you brush against the weeds and the sap from the stems gets onto your skin. That becomes a problem because once the sun hits that sap and it's on your skin, it can give you some extremely bad burns. And there's been some write-ups lately in the last week on the Weather Network, and some videos showing, how bad the people can be burned. So it's highly recommended that you go anywhere near, a heavily weeded backyard, or out in the bush somewhere along the pathway. You should be wearing light colored pants and shirts. It's kind of best that way. You brush up against these weeds and you've got that kind of clothing on, it's not going to be so much of a problem. And it's a lot better to have fun out there as opposed to getting burned from something you never even knew that was there. And for us guys that are much older like me, I'm in my 50s now, when you get a burn or something like that, okay, well, yeah, we deal with it, put up with it, but it's not something that we want to have happen to our children. You get an 11-year-old or 12-year-old kid, and then they're all of a sudden in the hospital because they went chasing after a beach ball or a baseball in the woods, or off the pathway, or near the picnic area, and there's these toxic weeds that are around. And so far, from what I've read, not a lot that can be done about it. You can pull them out, but you got to do it with gloves, and you got to do it in such a way that you dispose it correctly. Otherwise, you run into all sorts of other problems. So anyway, just a heads up for today. Looks like it's going to be a rain day for most part of the day, according to the Weather Channel anyway, and that's great. It's exactly what we need, especially for us grass cutters, which I am, among other things, gardening and snow plowing and whatnot. So, as you can see, there is definitely a fair bit of rain coming down. And it's exactly what I want. Next week's going to be a good week of grass cutting, weed pulling, and a whole bunch of other things. So you guys have a good day. It's Sunday. Take care of yourself. And yeah, if you like my video, comment, give me ideas or anything that you think that might be relevant. Heads up on anything. Subscribe to my videos. And y'all have yourself a good day. Bye for now.